What's up, guys? In this video I wanted to just go through a quick history on Decentraland, when it started and what's happened till today. It's been like almost a year since it's been in operation, and the project has grown quite a lot since then. And to understand where it's at the moment as a new investor, it's important to understand where it began from and what's happened since today. Decentraland, they had an ICO back in the day in August last year. They raised $20 million in under 5 minutes. It sold out straight away. It was one of those ICOs that just like has a lot of demand, a lot of social buzz, and it just like sold out. I wasn't even part of the ICO. In fact, I came to know about Decentraland in January the next year, early this year. So there's a lot that happened before me. I'm going to try and cover. So yeah, Decentraland had an ICO back then, $20 million under 5 minutes, 68,000 Ethereum. I think Ethereum was trading at $300 back then. So that was then, and after that, sometime in December, they held the first Terraform event, which was the first auction for Genesis City. The Decentraland map that you see was, this big map. Each little pixel was for sale. Obviously, apart from the roads and the districts, each little pixel or parcel of land was for sale, where you could enter the event, and I think it ran for about 2 weeks or something, and you could bid on any parcel that you wanted. Minimum bid was 1,000 mana, so if you wanted this parcel, you can just click that and then confirm your bid for 1,000 mana. Other people can come in, outbid you if they want that exact parcel, and once the whole event finished and everything kind of was finalized, the person with the highest bid would own that parcel at the end of the event. So that's how the initial owners of Decentraland came into existence. The lucky ones got a bunch of land. They believed in the project in the early days when it really didn't have much of not many people knew about it. So again, I missed that. I actually found out about Decentraland in January when the dip happened. That's when I thought I'd diversify a little bit. Came across Decentraland and thought, why not diversify in a bit of virtual real estate? It made a bit of sense back then, because the dip kind of impacted everyone pretty heavily, and I think everyone realized that diversification in just your general investment portfolio is kind of a good idea sometimes to protect yourself. So when I got involved, people owned these lands, but there was no real marketplace to list your land for sale or even buy your land. So I had to find people in the chat. So back then they were using Rocket Chat. They're using Discord right now, but back then they were using Rocket Chat. Kind of has a similar type of thing. So people would, in the land channel or the land trading section, people would post that they've got their lands for sale. So like Bitcoin Pie has done here. He says that he's got 9 lands for sale. PM him if he wants to buy it, if anyone wants to buy it. So people would post their land back there and be like, hey, I got like 20 lands for sale. I'm happy to sell them for 3,000 mana each. For them, they triple their money because they bought it for 1,000 mana each. And for me as a new investor, I'll be like, 3,000 mana is about $400 to $500 fiat. It's not really that much, in my head, I kind of thought that yes, it would definitely increase since then, because I saw the buzz around the project. I remember Rocket Chat had about 18,000 members and it was pretty active. So I was like, oh wow, this has a lot of potential. So I got involved then. I remember messaging people through chats. So say I wanted Robbie's lands, I would message him and be like, oh hey man, what lands do you have? I'm happy to buy it for X amount of money as a bulk purchase. And if they agreed, then I would send the mana to them in their wallet, and then they would send the land to me. So yeah, it is a bit of a manual process, pretty risky to be honest, but after a while you get to know who the trustworthy sellers are, because people would say, so and so had a successful deal with me, they're trustable, and over time within the community we knew who we could trust when making these deals. So that was then, but really quickly the creators of the project Decentraland realized that we need a marketplace to do these kind of transactions. So they created the marketplace, which is what you see today. You can go on any, and you can visit any parcel that you want, see how much that it's sold for in the past. You can put a bid on, you can buy it at any time that you want, and now everything kind of has a bit of, everyone has a bit of information as to what land sell for what certain places are priced at, because back then no one knew the price of anything because there was no land market, right? So people were selling road parcels for like 3,000 to 4,000 mana, but now you can sell them for like 10,000 to 12,000 mana. So It was really good to get involved in the early days. Now we're in a little bit deeper. There's still a lot of potential to make money. I'm still making decent amount of money just flipping land, even just this month. So there's still a lot of potential if you continue to follow the market. But yeah, that's where what leads you to today. If you click on any parcel, you should see that. Let's try and click on some parcels up here. This is one of my parcels I just sold like 10 days ago. You can see the history of the parcel. So you can see that 11 days ago it was sold for 34,500. Back in the day it was sold for 6,000 mana, right? So that was during the auction. Obviously that's a really cheap price. You can't really get it for that price, but you can kind of get an idea as to what these lands are worth back in, based on what they sold at the early days. So something like this, it was only 1,000 mana, so I wouldn't expect that to sell for more than 6 to 8 to 9,000. Anything close to the double main roads, again 6,000 mana there, again 6,000 mana there, 1,500 mana here. Anything connected to the districts, what have we got? 2,000 mana there. What about this one? This would be pretty expensive. I reckon 60,000 mana because it's connected to this Genesis Plaza. So these are all the initial auction price. So you can kind of get an idea that obviously it'll sell for a lot more than this now. It'll probably sell for like 200,000 mana now. But yeah, you know, if as a new investor, you need to understand those things, and hopefully now you're better equipped at making better decisions in buying your land.